So I've just been doing some stuff mostly on just the browser. You see here, I'm actually on my computer. I'm not even on the internet because you're not really going to have to worry about the internet until you start playing with other people, right? So I'm just doing some quick design, playing around with some of the JavaScript programming for some different types of game. Now here is the life game that we're going to be taking a look at here. Remember I said that I was just going to play around with some of the graphic stuff because you guys are submitting right now potential events and you're submitting potential careers, and we're going to have to use all those ideas that you're entering to build into the game. But I was just sort of looking at the game design. And then here is the trading game that we're going to be playing. If you're available tomorrow on Wednesday, I'm going to be testing this game. I'm going to be working on this afternoon. Just to firm this up. But let's just take a look at a few of these games. So we saw the tic-tac-toe game, right? But this is all basically, we're going to be using some combination of a database, JavaScript, HTML obviously, and style tags. So let's just take a look at one here. So this is a game board, different types of game board. This just takes an image, the image of a map, and it overlays on it a bunch of little div tags with CSS. And you see when I hover over them, it changes. In fact, I can see that I'm a little bit off the board over here. The board extends beyond the image. And the theory is that let's say we wanted to do a game like Risk or a game like Stratego or something like that, or the diplomacy game where you wanted to move troops around. And I wanted to say that you had, 2,000 troops over here, or you had missiles over here, or you had resources or ships or whatever. Well, I can design this board and say, each one of these has a number. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And I could say that all the, I'd have to go in and manually do this. I'd say all of these are ocean, and you can't travel on these unless you have a ship, right? And then all of these are in the United States, right? And all of these are in Brazil, and all of these are in Russia. And then we assign those squares. And these are squares that I don't even know how big they are. Let's just take a quick look. So these are squares that are 25 pixels and 25 pixels wide. But you could make those. You could make them very, very small and have a lot of, control over that. So that's one option. And why I'm showing you this is I want you to be thinking about a game that you might like to develop. Now, we're going to be combining to work on the game of life, but it's just, a thought, right? What do you want to develop? Are you going to, and this is a good practice to develop a simple game like a tic-tac-toe game, or Mastermind, or Stratego, or something like that, where you can just develop the setup, and then we can incorporate, I'm using my hands to bring together, we can incorporate the thing where you need the internet in order to play with another player, right? And that's something that we'll talk about. So here I just created a little option so I could do this dynamically. So you can see here I can change the number of squares, I can change the board height, I can change the board width. And then this, I just put in another image, and I don't remember if I called it Game of Life, I think. So this is I got an image off the web of the Game of Life, and you see it changes. So maybe this is how we do our Game of Life. I'm going to show you a more dynamic, but this is what the board games looks like. And if we wanted to, we could have this basically emulate the board game, so you're just going like this. I had kind of a weird, I wasn't sure how we were going to snake around, if we wanted to snake around like the board. I mean, truthfully, if we're designing the Game of Life, you don't even need to have a board, right? I mean, you could have a spinner, something that dynamically generates it, and then you just go. But it might be fun to have the Game of Life. So let me go back. So that's one, right?